Barangay Ginebra and Bay Area will have to wait a week before they resume action in the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals. Can Barangay Ginebra defend home turf by winning the crown, or will Bay Area make history at the expense of the crowd favorites, the Gin Kings? Well, joining us right now on the last Friday of the year 2022 for an all-out conversation is one of the brilliant basketball minds that I've met here on the show. Bay Area Dragons head coach Brian Goorjian, always accommodating. Coach Brian, thank you again for being on the show. Advance Happy New Year to you. Always a pleasure having you on the show, sir.
Thank you. And it's like I said, we're excited to experience the first New Year's in the Philippines. So, yeah.
Coach, I don't know if I said it already, but congratulations, by the way. Well, I did congratulate you on Instagram. Congratulations on taking game 2. Coach Tim Cohn said himself it was a well-coached game, game 2 from you, and that he sees this as a fun series because he's also being challenged in this series. The winningest coach in the PBA being challenged by you, a brilliant basketball mind yourself. How do you see the games? I know it will be a week. A few days from now, it will be next week, next Wednesday, Jan 4. How do you see this series now, or starting game 3, to turn out after what we've seen in games 1 and 2?
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual. What Tim does is, and there's ultimate respect here, and in how they play. And obviously, after game 1, the adjustments fell to us because they manhandled us. Both ends of the floor dominant in game 1. So again, we made adjustments in game 2, and game 3, I think, is about, I always think this time of year, rest is your friend, making sure that your players have fresh legs and making sure that you stay ahead. You're not satisfied, that you keep moving forward and you keep making adjustments and improve your team for this series. And, having a week in between, and as you say, now it's a 5-game series. The longer this thing goes, I keep promoting to the team, as long as the clock's ticking, the scoreboard's going over, it's good for us. And this break, we're going to do everything we can to take full advantage of.
Well, Coach, I don't know if you heard what Coach Tim said after the game about an apparent tactic of yours. You can either confirm or deny this, but he believes that helped you win game 2. We have a clip of that, and I don't know if you've seen it, but let's also show it for the benefit of our viewers. Let's watch it right now, Coach.
I thought their coach Brian, did a great job of selling to the press. The calls from last game, did a great job of selling it. And we knew we weren't going to get any calls tonight. It's like we were the visiting team tonight. But, game 1, game 2, like I said after game 1, we didn't win the series after game 1. We didn't lose the series after game 2. It's tough to beat a good team, 3 times in a row, which is what we were trying to do. They made the proper adjustments tonight.
You did a great job selling the calls to the media, and you want to react to that, Coach?
I sure do. In respect there again, I think the game of the finals basketball is about easy baskets, and easy baskets are, where they killed us on offensive rebounds and free throws. And, the first, I say this again, we're a foreign team. It's the PBA's competition. We're walking into a first. Everything goes up. That first game, as a coach, I've got to come back to my team. My best players on 3 fouls in 5 minutes in the game. We were in foul trouble all night. What can we do? What can't we do?
Yeah.
So I showed a couple clips. Here, are we able to do this? If we're able to do this, I'm going to take advantage of that with my team. If we're not able to do it, I'm going to practice with referees and say, call this on my team at practice. So, as far as that's different than going and saying, we're getting cheated, the referees were bad, blah, blah, blah. That was not the case at all. Here's some clips. what can we do here? What can't we do here? I'm going to go back to my team and instruct. And we spent 3 days working hard on defending without fouling. And, if you want to advantage here, everything honestly is stacked in the other way. There's 16,000 fans or 20,000 fans. There's none for us. We're going on let's play game 3 in Beijing. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is all new for us, new young team.
Yeah.
And I know what my job is. And I thought we did. If there was one positive, it was we defended much better without fouling.
Let's take a look at the numbers in game 2, Coach. We're going to be flashing the numbers on our screens right now. Here it is. Because in game 1, he never out-rebounded you by a lot. 58-35. They were plus 23 on the boards in game 1. But here, in game 2, it was even, 44 all. In the assist department, you were up 23-20. You had more blocks, 7 huge blocks as compared to only 2. And this is huge, this stat line, as what was pointed out, 18 free points from the free throw line for Bay Area, only 3 for Ginebra. They were just 3 of 5. They went to the line, the shot from the free throw line 5 times, Coach. And inside, you dominated them inside the paint by 10. You want to react to the numbers here, Coach, and the difference from this stat line, these numbers, to game 1, Coach.
Well, just exactly what you're reading there. I mean, the keys to the game: play defense without fouling, focus. It's finals basketball. If you go to the NBA, international, it's no secret. And I thought we did a really good job of moving our feet and keeping our hands in front of us. And it was a focus point, like I said, for 3 days. And then the rebounding, we shot the ball better, which so there was less. It helps that statistic. And we shot the ball better from the 3-point line. And then the last aspect, and I think they do it the best of any team in the competition, is through that triangle offense, move the ball. Yeah. And we move the ball, as you said, better in game 2, according to those assist ratio. We got a lot of scores off the pass as opposed to one-on-one play, which again was exciting that the guys reacted to what we spent time on in the days between.
Well, Coach, don't go anywhere. I'm enjoying this conversation. Let's continue this after we take a really quick timeout with head coach Brian Goorjian of the Bay Area Dragons. We will continue after the break. Stay tuned to Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. Our guest today is Bay Area Dragons head coach Brian Goorjian. The series is now tied 1 game apiece. He never took game 1. Bay Area took game 2. Game 3 will be next Wednesday, January 4, well, next year already, at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay. Well, Coach, let's continue this conversation. You apparently just had a very short rotation in game 2, and it turned out to be a superb game plan. You've been having that short rotation, sticking to your core pretty much the whole the whole conference. Well, sometimes you'd extend your rotation because you really have a deep lineup at your disposal. Game 1, you roughly played, correct me if I'm wrong, 10 to 11 players. But in game 2, you just had like 7 to 8, that short rotation. Do you think you can sustain, if the series goes the distance, reaches game 7, do you plan on having this short rotation, sticking to your core as the series goes further, Coach?
No, I don't think so. What we did know was after game, we're down 1-0, being 2 in the hole is deep trouble. And this is like the final game 2, and that you've got a 7-day window between game 2 and game 3. So, and I made that comment to the team prior, all or nothing, we've got a week off. So coached accordingly. Some of those guys struggled in the first game with the matchups of this particular team, which is completely different matchups than San Miguel. Blue becomes a different piece when you're going against Jumar, as opposed to, you got Brownlee in the 4 spot, and you got Nick matched up to the 5-man. How do you use Lou? Yeah. And those are processes that we're working on now with a 7-day window. But I planned on keeping that rotation tight, and I played them into the ground. But again, the games are going to come more fast and furious, so the substitution patterns going to have to go more like game one.
It's really a beautiful thing to watch. It's like watching two chess grandmasters against each other, Coach Tim Cohn against yourself. It's like really playing mind games. You mentioned Junmar and how that matchup was differently with San Miguel. Well, Junmar Fajardo said that the PBA should invite your team, particularly the Bay Area Dragons and other foreign teams, for that matter, in future PBA tournaments. And Coach Tim Cohn is looking forward coaching more games against you. How is your experience thus far? Also reacting to that it has been a great tournament so far, great conference having you guys as a guest team here for this conference. And like we were talking about your experience off the air. How has it been so far, Coach, being here in the Philippines and experiencing a lot of things for the first time here?
So exactly what you're saying. My whole purpose, I was living in a wonderful place right on the beach in front of my home with my family, playing in a great competition in the NBL. And when the opportunity came to coach in a competition like this, and with the EASL, which emphasizes exactly what you're talking about, the opportunity to coach against Tim Cohn, the opportunity to compete against Korea, Japan, China. And the PBA is getting benefit from us being in this. It's different basketball, it's different coaching, it's different challenges. And on the flip side, so are my players. And if we want to medal, if Gillis wants to medal, if Team China wants to medal, when I was in the NBL, all our players play. A lot of them play in the NBA. Europe, it's international competition. Russia against Spain. We've got to get that going in our area, because Tim Cohn's going to be better from this experience. I'm going to be better from this experience. All the players are going to get better from this experience. And if you do that on a consistent basis, and the PBA is a great place to start this, and the EASL is a great follow-up to it. So I didn't come here for a one-year hit. I came here to establish something, and I talk about it in Australia. I hope Australia gets involved in this. I hope New Zealand gets involved in this EASL, the Philippines. And in this domestic competition, I think we've been good for it, and it certainly has been good for us.
It's great basketball, really a great treat for any basketball fan, for that matter. You've coached, you've played in major pro leagues. If ever, what advice can you give to the PBA when it comes to making it a much better league? Because it keeps on growing. What advice can you give for it to keep on growing and evolving, Coach?
I just, in all honesty, it's at this point in time, it's not my place, because as we've all talked, I'm learning, and to criticize or say what's wrong with it, or I know what's good about it. It's what's good about it is that this country loves basketball, and there's not many places in the world. I think it's here in Lithuania where basketball is number one. So the PBA is doing something right. And everywhere you go, there's baskets and there's kids out there shooting and playing. And, the competition's very, very strong, and it's only getting better. And number two is the way they organize the game, the refereeing, the fans. I have no criticism, and I think this is a step in the right direction. And this is, again, I just say it all the time, the Bay Area Dragons, I want to be remembered because I'm getting towards that stage of my career, and that's why I made this move. I'm for the area. I've spent my life in the Asia Pacific, and we got one with Australia. I want teams to come out of here and be competitive. And in order to do that, benefits Australia. What I'm doing right now, I keep selling to Australia. What is going on right here is good for our country and the growth of our country in the future.
Coach, Before I let you go, we can. I know we don't have a lot of time. Every time we have you on the show, we should have a 1-hour show to have you, Brian Goorjian, on it because we have a lot to talk about. But my last question for you, Coach, before I let you go and greet you Happy New Year, there are reports that a PBA team or at least one college team want you to be their coach or at least be part of their coaching staff as a consultant, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I also know that there's one collegiate coach that, I won't name who, I won't say who, but you're in touch with. But is there any? Do you wanna clear the air and talk to me about this? Is there any truth to that? Any?
I honestly haven't been contacted, but lately there's been, maybe a clinic or whatever. All I can say is I love the game. I love the Philippines, and anything that I could do to help basketball in this region, I'm in. And, 100%. I've loved this. I love the way we're treated. I love the people that I've met, the hospitality of the Shangri-La Fort. Everything has been first class. And anything that I can do to give back, I would. So, that's where I'm at with all of that.
I like that answer. Well, Coach, please do let us know if but you're open to it, right? Like if another team or
Certainly.
You are, okay. Sharing your knowledge. And any team, collegiate or pro, will be very fortunate to have you on their team. Coach, Happy New Year. Thank you again for your time. Let's keep in touch. Good luck on Wednesday. Happy New Year, Coach.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
That was
Hope to see you soon.
Yes, I will definitely see you. Bay Area Dragons head coach, Brian Goorjian.